Hey y'all, so I'm back for a quick video here. I'm going to do a journal flip and show you guys a travel journal. I just got back yesterday. I tell you, I'm still feeling jet lagged and like a little disoriented in terms of everything that I have going on and different things that I want to show you guys. And also, I was having a hard time in Europe with the internet. I had internet, but I didn't have the speed that I needed to really upload videos and even access some of my accounts. I was having problems with my passwords and things like that, just crazy stuff. So I just decided I wasn't going to stress myself out because I was going to do some more videos and actually do travel journaling videos so I could show you guys how I actually build my travel journals. So I'm going to show you where I am right now, because I'm going to upload a video on how I made this envelope, how from jelly printing all the way through to construction and even through to the leather covers. So they're going to be a two-part video. The first video I'm going to put up right after I put this one up right now, and it's going to be jelly printing the envelopes and constructing the journal. And then the second one, which will probably go up next week because I've got to do a voiceover and everything on it, is how I made the leather covers for the envelope journals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly where the journal is from coming back from my trip. And generally my journals are always like this because I'll normally have a few days that I like towards the end of the trip where I'm not like journaling every day, you know, because you're just doing all your stuff. You're running around mad trying to get all your last different visits and things in. And also, I have a lot of different material that I bring back that I stick in the back of the journal. So I like to finish the journal off like in a different, state of mind where I've gotten all the rest of my materials. I even like take pieces of bags, the places I might have gone and bought things, or business cards. What I love about this particular travel journal is I have a place for all of my receipts. And I like that because sometimes even when you want to go back and just log how much you spent on your trip, this is just a convenient place to have all your receipts. And you can just pull your journal down and say, oh, even at tax time, because sometimes we don't keep up with all this stuff like we should. So I always like to have a place in my travel journals where I just stash all the receipts for my trip. Because then when I do my taxes, I can just go back and even look at those things and just, double check what I spent and how much that particular trip may have run me. So it's nice to, to have that ability built into your journals as well. But so I'm going to show you now where I am, and then I'm going to actually do a video of me finishing this journal off, and then I'll put that one up also in the coming weeks. Probably not next week, but the week after. I'll have that all done and what have you. But the one for the cover is done, and it'll go up next week. Alrighty, so I'm gonna put you down on the desk here so you guys can see this. And just again, thank you guys so much for supporting me over here on Patreon. It means so much to me. I'm kind of getting used to Patreon and exactly what I'm going to and how I'm going to offer things over here, because I want them to be organic. I want you guys to be able to sort of be a part of the behind the scenes of what I'm doing as an artist, because I am a working artist. And so I do have a lot of different projects and things that I am creating. And so I thought, it'll be fun maybe to show you more of that. I was looking at another Patreon channel, and this one guy, he's a creator, he's an illustrator, and he said that he didn't show a lot of his behind the scenes video, like when he's just doing his drawings. It might take 2 or 3 hours. And because he didn't think anyone wanted those. But then he polled his supporters. They're like, yeah, we want to see that. And he's like, these things are 2 or 3 hours. Like, no, we want them. And it reminded me of where most of you guys found me in the beginning, which was on YouTube, and those were long videos. And many of the comments that I get is people like the fact that my videos were long and not fast forwarded, so you guys could see each step. So I thought, why not go back to my roots and offer more of those type of videos here at Patreon. So they won't necessarily be edited. They're not going to be really tight and on one subject, like the Gelli Junkadories or what have you, but there'll be more of what I'm doing in my studio, which is all kind of things from jelly printing to painting to book construction, to encaustics. So whatever I'm doing in my studio, so there may not be a rhythm or a rhyme to it, but I'll just start taping those sessions, and then I'll be offering it here on Patreon, at, I'm sure, like the $5 level. Um, I'm even playing around with just maybe having one level, like just have everything at the $10 level and then just put everything up. That way I'm not trying to figure out, okay, I'll give you this and give you that. Um, I don't know. So I'm definitely looking for feedback from you guys as well, because it is a lot to sort of try to offer these things at different levels, and you're editing these videos. I mean, there's a lot of work that just goes into doing the videos, and not to mention just doing my art. So I want to share, but I want to share organically and in a way that you guys feel like you're getting the most. I can offer the most, and I feel like I'm interacting with you guys in a really easy way. I've enjoyed doing the Gelli Junkadories because I have been working on that Gelli Junkadory, and I'll still show that, but I also will mix other things in. So that's been a fun project for me. And I'm still developing that because I'm developing more of those types of structures. So we'll still be doing that as well. Let me see what else I wanted to say. So I had some things on my mind. So you definitely can leave feedback to this video in the comments. Tell me more of what you'd like to see. Are you interested in seeing just behind the scenes, like long playing videos? The other thing is YouTube has changed their algorithm. So to put really long videos up, so many creators have gotten away from that. And if you put a video up that's much more than, believe it or not, like 15 to 30 minutes is a good range to have videos. If you put them up for longer than that, YouTube doesn't push them out for people to see them. So those who are already following me, you guys will get the notices that a new video came up. But other people who may want to, discover, more about my style of jelly printing and things like you guys did, they won't get those videos because YouTube just doesn't want to push out long videos. They say that it's not enough engagement, and it's not, the advertisers won't get the same amount of like ad space and views, and you have to understand that YouTube is a business for YouTube 100%. And though we are the creators, are what's made YouTube, we are like have been pushed more and more and more to the bottom of the pile. Advertisers are more important, algorithms are more important. YouTube growing and attracting more creators and everything is more important to YouTube. So those of us who have been creating, so when you see changes on my channel and changes on all the other channels, it's not that people are trying to give you guys less or be stingy or hold back. It's that the only way that they can continue to grow their businesses and to reach more people is to stay in line with YouTube algorithms. So the videos that I put over there have to be short in order for my videos even to be seen. But what I'll do is over here on Patreon and in some of my other platforms, like I have a studio school, I will actually put up not only longer, but tutorial videos that maybe for like a one-time cost of $20 or $25, or depending on what it is. If it's a real intense book structure, those will be more expensive. Then you guys can just go there, buy that class, download it, and then that's yours to keep. So I'm kind of trying to work around giving more material and at the same time make it work across the various platforms, because all these platforms have different algorithms and I don't control that. So I wanted to give you guys that insight because sometimes some of you guys will reach out to me and ask me different questions, or ask me if I can do this, or even ask about the videos and stuff like that. And so I wanted to just take this opportunity to just kind of go across the board on exactly some of the behind the scenes things that you guys would have no idea. You would know nothing about YouTube algorithms, what have you, if you're not a creator. So that being said, let's move down to the table, and let me show you this travel journal so that you guys can get busy making your own. Now, I did this as a travel journal, but you can use it as any kind of book structure. Um, you can actually, and I'll show you some other structures moving forward, but you could use this in like so many different ways. You could actually cover the pockets up with full pages of jelly print and just have it as a book that displays your jelly prints. So it doesn't have to be a travel journal. You can be as creative with the structure as you want to be. All right, here we are. Let's go down on the table. I'm going to show you the journal here. Okay. So I have it so that I have a long piece of leather that just wraps around. And I love that because what it allows for, let me make sure I'm still in the frame, is that, you can just kind of tie it all off, because you see now I have extra stuff that I've accumulated here that I'm going to work into the journal. So I love the idea of having a strap and tying it off, because I know I can just keep everything nice and tight in here. Okay, so, and this cover I'm going to be showing you guys how to make. So, so this is the first page. Now the book slides into, I took it out on this side so you can see it. So this is our envelope journal, and it slides into this flap here, front and back. But I took it out on this side because I wanted to be able to show you everything and not have to struggle with things. So this inside pocket is a great place to put extra. So I normally just take extra washi tape and wrap it around an old gift card or something like that. And so this inside pocket of the journal works really well for holding that kind of stuff. So this was the first page of it. I just took this out of a magazine. I loved this colorful picture. This is one of the attractions, or one of the areas in the city where it's featured. It's sort of like the what are those Victorian the painted ladies in San Francisco here reminds me of it. This reminds me of that same kind of thing of the painted ladies. But this is a beautiful area that I visited, so I wanted to put that in there. This was on the very first things that I put in my journal, because when I first got to our hotel, I saw this advertisement for this exhibit, and it turns out the exhibit was right down the street, on more than a block and a half from our hotel, and it's on the Buddha, the life of the Buddha. And you guys know I like Buddha and Eastern concepts, and mostly from the standpoint of the art and what have you. I'm not saying I'm so much into the philosophy of Buddhism. I do believe in meditation and sort of like, some of the principles, but I really love the art and the style and the way art was integrated into life and spirituality. And that's what I really love about the Asian culture. So that was perfect. And I thought it was interesting because one of the things that I brought to go along with this journal, just the color, sometimes what I'll bring is something that I try to keep myself open to what I'm going to discover and build the journal. But I also always will have some kind of little something that I like to bring that may end up being sort of a focal point. So I brought these because I just felt like, let me see if I can find a blank page. I just felt like it went well with the aesthetics of the book. So if I wanted to put something down as a foundational page and then collage around it, I just thought these were good pieces. They were easy to take with me and to use. So I thought it was funny that the very first thing that I put in this journal actually worked so beautifully, color-wise and everything, with the papers and the jelly printing. So I knew that this was going to really work out well. One of the things I also did is I took some of this gridded paper. It is gridded craft paper, but it's also like a sticky note. And I thought this would be a great way, because a lot of times I didn't first of all know how easy it was going to be for me to write on top of these jelly prints with different pen types. I know I have a few pens, like my gel pens will work, but I wanted to be able to move them around. Also, I find that sometimes when the trip first starts, I don't really get a chance to just go right into doing my journaling. Sometimes it takes a day or so of me collecting things before I actually will sit down and start doing a journal, but I like to keep up with what I did in that day. So this was a great way of just writing down like October 30th, and then I put down the first things that we did and just made little bullets of everything so I can remember what I did. And then it also, this little technique helps me because when I come back to start putting things in place, I have like a list of what I actually did on that particular day. So I can make sure that, like, we went to this restaurant the first evening, and I had to have Heineken that was made, in in the country, so I could see what it tasted like versus how it is here. And it does taste a bit different, I must say. So, but what I was doing before I did that, so what I would do is I would take the sticky note, I would write down on there everything, and I would stick it on the page. And you're going to see some back further where the pages aren't complete. And then anything that I had in that day, like I had originally had this just stuck into the flap of the envelope. So I just had stuff that I was collecting just stuck in the flap. So this is the first day that I was there. So like I said, this is a restaurant we ate in. And then this came out of one of the magazines in the hotel. I just thought, so I cut that out and put that into the journal. This was a ruler kind of thing that I got bookmarked that I got from a stationery shop that I had visited on the first day. And this I am Amsterdam, or I Amsterdam, I am Amsterdam, is one of the slogans that they use now across the board for, like their promotional of the city. So I got that out of one of the magazines, and so that was put in there. So I'm showing you the days that are already journaled, and then you're going to see some days that are still left for me to do, and I'll finish those up. And like I said, I'm going to finish those up and do a video showing you guys that, and then I will also put up the rest of it. It's so funny because I started this video and I've got 15 viewers that are live, and I was actually thought I was taping this. So good. Hey guys, how are you? It's good to see you. For those of you are looking at this, this is actually a video that I'm doing for Patreon, and but it's good that you guys get to see this. So then I don't have to upload it to YouTube. It'll already be there. Okay. Well, thank you for listening into the whole YouTube thing, because I was really doing that for my Patreon followers, so they'll know like what we're trying to do over there. But anyway, okay. So this is the next one. This is the next day. So you see again here, this is my journaling. What I did for that day. You can see I got a little water spot on it because I was using my fountain pen, and I guess when I was working, I don't know, I dropped something or whatever, so I just kind of put the card over like that. But I'm happy with that. That's good. Here's the washi tape, some of the washi tape I was using. So what happened here? This was a card from a shop that I had purchased a couple tops from, and I really liked the tops, and I like this little shop, so I wanted to. This is actually the garment tag, but I wrote on there what I bought, and so I also can remember the shop. Here's a Hermitage. So that was one of the places that we had visited. This also was a map. So oftentimes what I do when I find these maps at, that are for different things, I forgot what this one was for, but it was a nice colorful one. So what I did is I opened it all the way up. I ripped it down, and I made a book with it. And this is one of the little techniques I do for making zines. But this was a one large piece. And I did it so that at least when I want to see the city, so it's in two parts. See, there are two of them, because it was like a big, huge map, right? And so I made these little booklets with it so I could see the whole city and stuff. And so it was a way of incorporating Amsterdam into the book and be able to also go back over it and, check out things that places that we went, or even for future visits, I can look at things that I would like to, places I'd like to go. This was like a ribbon that came off of one of the canisters of the traditional waffle cookies that they make. Like they're perfect for putting over like a cup of coffee, and they just warm up a little bit. And my girlfriend Tessa, um, who lives there, she gifted me that. She says, you got to have one of these. This is traditional. So I put that there because I wanted to remember her gift to me. And I just thought that was a nice little way of doing it. And then this was another place that we ate. I think we had coffee and Dutch apple cake there. I put that there. And this was in The Hague, which is where Tessa lives. So she took me out to her city and we toured around, and I went to her studio and everything. And then I like this little icon of a little movie camera, but also the International Film Festival is there in November. But I was leaving before I got a chance to, before, it was getting ready to start. But I put this in my journal because I wanted to remember that. So the next time I go back to Amsterdam, I'll try to plan it around the film festival, because me and my youngest daughter, we love film festivals. So just thought that was a great place to put that information. Okay, so here, another day of, this was another thing from that exhibition on the Buddha. And so underneath here is where I put what I did that day. And then, oh, this was a business card of an optometrist that I met on the train. He and his wife were on the train from Amsterdam to Paris, because this is the day that we left to go there. And we had a great conversation, but he knew a lot. And my youngest daughter, he gave her a lot of information because she wears contact lenses and stuff like that. So I want to put his card in there because he gave us his number if we had any other questions. So I thought that was nice. And it reminds me of that conversation. We had a great conversation. This is some other things from the museum. And this card right here, it's just from another museum. We didn't visit this museum, but I wanted to remember that it was there. And I just like the color of the card. Okay, yeah, you can see it. I just love the color of it all. And so it was just a way of cutting that little card up, making a collage out of it to remember this museum to visit. And then, of course, you got to have a windmill in there. So that's kind of how I put a windmill in. Now, this is in Paris. This is one of our first days in Paris. Well, this was the first day because we took the train there, and then we kind of, toured around. And this is our first full day. So we took the Baton Bus, which is the boat on the Seine. So that's how I put the whole brochure in here. And then you can see I used a little bit of washi tape just to hold it in place. But there's a map and everything in there. So if I want to access that, here's our tickets. This was a restaurant. We had a really good meal in it. Delicious little cafe restaurant. And then I put what we did that day. It was my oldest daughter's birthday. So we celebrated her birthday and the whole thing. And I just really thought that this turned out well. I mean, look at the jelly print with this is the Tim Holtz washi tape. And then on this background with this, I thought really looked good. So I was happy with that. And then this is another day where more shopping. This is where you can see I integrated this gauze paper in there. Now this is where I have more stuff to put in. We had done some shopping at Zara. So I took the bag and cut it off, but I'll probably, put this on here somewhere like that. You guys can't see, I'm sorry. On there like that. This is another receipt. And you can see where I put my, what I did for that day down there. So now at this point is where the last few days I haven't attached any of the cards and stuff I collected, but I do have the notes. So see how I do it? I still, because this is the easiest thing to do. Just kind of write down what you did every day. So now at least you've journaled, this is what you've done. And then when you go to fill this page, like I know I want this on here. This is from a store. It was a bag. I cut this off of a big, huge shopping bag, but I really like the graphics and everything on here. So I'm sure I'm going to incorporate this some kind of way. I'm sure I'll be moving this around. So I'll show you guys this process. You can see how I put my receipts in here. This is another day but the pages are not done. So I'm going to do a video where I'm going to finish these pages off so you guys can see it. And now you can see these pages are, well, this should actually be over here, because this would be the next day there. And then I have a few pages left because I didn't make this journal too thick because I knew that I was only going to be on this trip for about 8 or 9 days. But you can see back here. Now this is another coaster from one of the places that we ate at. So I think that's going to go on this page because that was on the last day. So, you know, I'm going to be using that. But then I have some bags. We saw the Egon Schiele exhibition, as well as the Basquiat at the Foundation Louis Vuitton. And so I'll be putting this in here. We had visited the Louvre, so I cut that off of one of the bags so that I would, you know, not miss that. This was a vintage store that we went to, so I took their card. I like the graphics on that. This is the map from the Louvre, so I'm sure I'm going to work that in some kind of way. This is the map and information on the Louis Vuitton Museum Foundation. And then Frank Gehry, he was the one who built this structure. Oh my God, the building is just incredible. I was going to see if I could see a good picture of it here to show you guys. But this is kind of like the building. It just looks like layers of glass, or I don't know. It's in there. You can see it. It's such an incredible structure. So this, I'll be putting this in there. This is some more that I put on the back of the journal. This is another exhibit. And I have more business cards and different things in another place. So I'll be finishing this journal up, and then I'll show you guys the finished product. So in the meantime, now what I'm getting ready to do is the how-to video for doing this, which is pretty long, is actually, I'm getting ready to put it up over on Patreon. That's robinmcclendon.com. I mean, Robin McClendon, Patreon. Oh my God. I'm still jet lagged. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to show exactly how I made this because it is a long video. And I think I put a shorter one here on YouTube. If you guys go to look, I think I showed a bit on how to do this. But there's other tutorials on YouTube on how to actually make this, this envelope journal. But I'm going to show how I made this specifically one and how I did the jelly prints and the colors I used and everything. Alrighty, so not for this to be too much longer. Wanted to show you guys that and more to come. And thank you so much for, you know, hanging in there with me always and supporting what I'm doing. I do appreciate it. And I will just keep on pouring out technique videos and what have you. And I'm going to have a lot more that I'll be showing here as well. Alrighty, guys, take care. Thanks again. And I will see you soon. Alrighty, bye-bye.